Full 8. I don't know what you guys
I was up talking
about.
with these guys. I looked at my watch when I got back, and it was 3 o'clock.
Yep. I looked
First slap, happy cast. 3, 2, 1.
Did you have something specific that you want to throw in? Because I have a question that I've been wanting to put to him, but I didn't want to.
Screws. Okay, go for it.
Okay, some of you've heard me talk about this, but I want to get it out here on the record and stuff. So, yeah, so Blacksheep is legendary along the East Coast.
Yeah.
So, what is it that makes you decide to go 2,000 miles away from your support base, from your player base, from your normal fields, and come to Guernsey and Mississippi and California and all the other frickin' places that you're going to? I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, it's not. I've been doing this for 10 years in the sport. I've been doing national events for 6. And I have seen the life-changing experiences in the Northeast player base. Not only personal life-changing experience, but game-changing life experiences. That the whole community has grown to a level that most units that I've been in the military can't perform to the level that these guys are doing on a consistent basis. So I've heard a lot because the reputation does precede us. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I'd love to go to a Blacksheep event, but it's so freaking far away. So rather than have you travel to the event, I'm bringing the event to
Mountain to Muhammad.
Correct. So what I've done over the last 7-8 months now is find places like, Art's Toy Box here, and Camp Shelby, Mississippi, and Camp Roberts, California. I'm working on Kansas and Georgia, and I've already got the venues in the Northeast. So we're looking at trying to do 10 events a year. And never in my wildest dreams did I think that I'm trying to regionalize it. So, I draw a 7-hour circle around a location, and that's that region event. So, for up here, that's, Colorado, North Dakota, Utah, Nebraska kind of circle.
Montana.
Yeah. So I'm bringing that experience out there because it's worth it. It's worth it to see people. Very rarely do you create something in your life that has that kind of impact on people, and I'm very humbled by the phenomena that I've created. It's the stories that people tell me are just mind blowing. And that's what I made a commitment to the sport, to elevate the sport. And one thing that really annoys me is, being compared to, like the Cove, for instance, in Virginia. They go, well, it's just a woods game. And it's like, idiot. Yes, there are trees.
I didn't have the first F-bomb. Yeah!
Yes, there are trees, but
it's his meal ticket. He can pay for all that. He's earned some.
It just drives me nuts.
So you're trying to bring enlightenment to the uncivilized heathens up here, on the West Coast, Midwest.
Well, no, I'm not saying that the player bases aren't experienced, and I'm not saying that there aren't pockets of really good Milsim players. But to throw it all together into a package where you see that evolution happen, I just don't see it happening anywhere. So that's why we decided to, like you said.
It usually has to be an exterior influence.
Yeah.
Very rarely can a group of players actually look around themselves and go, you know what, just because we got Gucci Flage and night vision and all this crap, that doesn't make us Milsimmers. We're calling ourselves Milsimmers. We go to events that we call Milsimmers, but none of us own a compass or a whistle. I mean, and we don't know how to use them if we did.
Well, and it's anytime you want to chime in here.
I think a lot of it is.
Oh, we'll get to you.
I know, we'll get to you. But I think we're talking about this whole aspect of bringing Blacksheep up here to this location. A lot of it comes down to is like you guys down in Colorado. You've got the teams down there. We were talking about this last night. We want that level of experience raising up. I mean, me and you were talking about it. Wyoming's got the same thing going on. Utah's got it. Idaho's got it. But we don't have any of that outside influence just like you're talking about. He comes in, and in famous words of last night, he with us. Brings it, gets it on, throws it at us. Everybody goes in there, and it's like, okay, you know what? Grab them by the short hairs, throw them knee deep in the proverbial mess, and they'll suck. That's what we need.
Yeah, and you talk about an external influence, and what you're missing right now is a measurable standard of which to gauge where you are. So that's what I bring to you, is a measurable standard. Everything is based on military doctrine. I can back everything that I'm doing up to say, this is the standard, this is where you are. So next year when you come, you need to try to get to that level. Now, what I do to the event, though, is that as I see the proficiency level of the players going up, so if we're here this year and the players are here, then they have a learning curve that they have to achieve for next year. Next year, I bump the bar. So, okay, you were here, you came to here, now damn, the bar moved.
There's no level cap. I can't arrive at the winning game.
I'm just going to show up and...
Yeah, and
I'm going to coast.
The analogy that I like to use is if you play chess, 32 pieces on a chessboard, and every game is different. And that's what Blacksheep is. You can come to this, and I've got guys that are 7, 8 event veterans, and that at the same venue. They come back year after year after year because the event is never the same. And that's a promise.
And that's also kind of like, I mean, really, as you go through this crucible of being forged into a Milsimmer, you're not the same either.
No.
Yeah.
No, like one of the things that was the most fun just for our little squad that we like threw together of guys that was like, who wants to do this? Okay. You're crazy and stupid enough to do it. All right. I'm not wearing a plate carrier out there. I'm not wearing, 25, 30 extra pounds of kit. Let's, retool our kit and tailor it to the event. So everyone was like, awesome. Okay, what are we going to do? Light recon? Okay, yeah. We're going to start cutting fat here and there and stepping outside of our comfort zone because we've been running with that for 2 years and never had the opportunity to evolve.
And it kind of goes along with that, and I hate to say this, that whole Gucci mentality. Everybody needs a squad radio with a cool little mic that hangs out their side and all this kind of stuff. And about 2 hours into the event, you see people going, screw this, I don't need that thing, it's in my way. Or, oh God, that hurts, it's too, because they don't pre-wear their stuff and check it all out. I was messing with the Op4, I mean, just a simple technique, that we use to prep patrols for the DMZ is jump up and down. If your shit rattles.
Did you see me doing that last night while we were talking?
Yeah. Other than, high cap mags, and I don't allow those anyway.
Bitch buckets.
You get the rattle.
I like that.
It's not his.
I still like it.
But you can use it.
I'll use it.
But there are levels of combat preparation that most Milsimmers haven't even thought about yet. And this event forces you to do that.
Oh, I've been to, 2 events, I guess, that actually had a pre-combat inspection. Everyone lines up, it's like, you don't need that, jump up and down, no, tape this, tape that, get rid of that.
Now, did the event do that, or the team did that?
There isn't a difference at these events.
Okay, got it.
It's the exact same thing. It's very similar, actually, to kind of your model of the way that you're doing things. Then they're what I would call actual Milsim events, as opposed to kind of what most people consider a Milsim event. And all of those things, it's all about improving the player base, improving those skill sets, and largely setting you up to fail, but setting you up to learn, as we were talking about last night.
And it's the great thing is you're talking about trimming your kit for coming in from on a military standpoint and a training standpoint. What the major brings to the table, a lot of the Milsimmers out there, they get that little bit, but it doesn't click. So then when their squad leader walks up and says, "Hey, jump up and down," why? Jump up and down. We're going to check this, check this. Then they show up to an event like this, and it goes, "Oh, makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It works."
The squad leader says, "Jump up and down." They say, "Why? How many stripes do you have?"
Yeah. Just do it. But it gets that, it's that full spectrum of, a lot of times there's that little bit of leeriness on that aspect of the military side of it. People looking into it and going, I've got this military guy he's been in there, he's been done that, and he comes up to me and says, "Jump up and down," and I'm going, what's he going to do to me? Why does he want me to jump up and down? But then he does it anyways, or she does it anyways, and then they show up at a Blacksheep event, and they have that gear inspection. And they go, "Oh, it makes so much sense."
And it's back to what you were talking about, the building your kit for the style of event and the terrain that you're fighting on. Rather than having this, while it looks cool, no, it's got to be functional, it's got to serve a purpose. And I can remember, Phil in my ruck when I was light infantry, and we were counting how many pairs of socks we were going to put in there because, oh, no. And I'd bring two, and one would hang off the ruck and dry while I was wearing the other one.
And powder.
And powder.
Foot powder is like worth 3 pairs of socks.
Yeah. On the going market right now, 1 bottle of foot powder is 4 cans of Skull.
Okay.
So we got that out there. 4 cans of Skull.
So, and that was one of the big learning curves because, and I take credit for spoiling the Northeast with, Fort Drum, because that's just a fabulous mount site.
I want to get out there.
But when I threw up the Cove, guys were going like, Woods, no, I don't need plate carrier, I don't need helmet, whole different kit setup. Now, what I have seen, and this is some of
I need
the
a life
funny.
preserver and flippers.
Water wings.
Yeah, now that blew people's mind. Freaking boat Frago. It's and the Op4 was just as hesitant when I threw that at them, and I said we're going to run a boat Frago, and they kind of went, hmm? And
Airsoft don't float.
well, it goes.
Oh, nonsense. Some of us are very naturally buoyant.
Well, it goes back to that safety umbrella that I'm talking about. I'm giving the Frago briefing, and I've got guys sitting there, like this, and I had 3 of them at that event. It's like, and you read body language, and it's like,
You're not telling me nothing.
what? No, what's wrong? Sir, I'm not doing that mission. I said, why? Scared of water. I said, I tell you what, after the briefing, if you still feel that way, you don't have to do this mission. And I'd go through the whole briefing and say, this is your route, this is how you do it. And part of that briefing was, if you fall out of the boat, stand up. Because I'm not going to
Put your feet down.
Oh. Just stand up. And we actually had a couple of guys who were like, screw this. They got up and they pushed the boat to the objective. They got real wet. But I'm not going to put people in a dangerous situation where they're going to drown. It's the experience. It's the as close as you can get to real and still have it be fun and safe. This is a hard business because the player base is fickle. They are an unusual crowd to deal with.